Hello again, I am the Retro Game Fox, and my first video I didn't really say very much about myself, so let me say a little bit about myself before I start onto this little doohickey right here. I like old electronics. I like really anything older than 1995. I think older than that I'm really a big fan of, I like older Macintoshes. I like the old iBooks, the clamshells. I have one. I like new stuff too, but I also, and it's not just the old computers and other electronics, I also like games. That's why game is part of my name, the Retro Game Fox. I like retro technology, I like retro games, and of course, most people call me Fox. But anyways, just wanted to get that out there. And now on to this thing. This is a Texas Instrument TI-74 BASICAL. I have no idea how to pronounce it. It's, maybe you can, BASICALC. Yeah, it's whatever. I got this at the same yard sale I got my last one on, and I got it for $5 or $10. And it does essentially the same thing, only it has a more up-to-date version of BASIC. It has a lot more functionality to it. It does not have a buzzer, unfortunately. It can't go beep like the other one can, but it can do a lot more stuff to it. Now let's just open it up. There it is, the Texas Instruments TI-74 BASICAL. And this is different from this little guy up here, and other than just the size, it's the fact that this is a computer and this is more of a calculator. And the reason why I say more than a calculator, because if you look at any instructions, it's essentially just a calculator that has BASIC added to it. It's from 1985, I believe, or 84, one of the two. It was really hard for me to get instruction or information about this device. I could not find a CPU speed for it, because you Google this name and it comes up with a chip for it. So it's pretty much a chipset that this computer was based around, is what I'm guessing. But I tried to find as much information as I could. It has a slot for RAM or ROM. You can have a ROM cartridge that has pre-assembled calculation instructions for it, for doing mathematical equations, or really anything you want. You can be on a ROM cartridge already. There's like 10 of them out there. I might get one and do a review on that. Or you can get a RAM expansion for 4 kilobytes or 8 kilobytes. I'm still stuck in the 21st century where everything's in megs and gigs and now terabytes. But essentially, I kind of lucked out with this thing, because when I found it, if you look at the case, it's all scuffed up and got marks everywhere and looks pretty bad. But the computer itself, which is inside the case, is in pretty good condition. I mean, really the only damage to it is right here, where someone used the wrong size of Phillips head to try to get that screw out. For whatever reason, I don't know, there's a little bit of a scuff mark there. But other than that, it's in pretty good shape. So, I already told you about this expansion slot, essentially. This also differs in it takes AAA batteries. I just bought those at the dollar store to test it out to make sure it worked. And then on the top, it's got a slot for the printer or a cassette adapter, just like the other one. It can use cassette programming. And on the side over here, it has your contrast control. And unlike the other one, there's a hair there. Unlike the other one, it has the reset button on the front, more easily accessible. Not going to reset it though. So it works. Let me adjust this a little bit. I don't know how well you can see that on camera. Focus. Thank you. There we go. And I have a program in it. Run. Play. Yes. There goes. Oh, look, it's a number guessing game. Let's try 500. Too high. 300. I don't want to play anymore, so 0. I would guess the number was 98, which is pretty far away from when this thing was actually made. So enter, no, enter, and there we go. But the big selling point for this was it was a calculator. So we go to mode and we have a calculator, just like any other calculator. You can do math. 9 plus 9 equals 18. 9. Oh, where's the shift? It's greater than, that doesn't work. Can I not do that like on the other one? There's a shift. No, can't do that. Interesting. I cannot can, you know, do the function that I did before on the last device. Huh, that's very interesting. Wait, maybe let's see here. 9 is greater than 5. No, still does that. Interesting. There's not much more I can say about this little device here. It uses 4 AAA batteries. It has contrast control. It has ROM cartridges. Showed you a program. I'm not going to open this one up because I really don't want to. There's not much I can show you because there's not information I could. With this thing, I was able to find diagrams for it and what all the parts were. But this one, it's kind of iffy. I can tell you it was made in 1984 or 85 by Texas Instruments. It's essentially a programmable calculator. Uses BASIC for programming. It has, oh, I remember specifications. It has 8 kilobytes of RAM, and I believe I can show that. Go back to BASIC. Oops. Where's over? There's over. Sorry, I haven't used this in a while. Mem, not defined. Okay, so I can't show you. That's kind of lame. A little easier to see that screen. Okay. So that's pretty much all I can show you at this one. It has the number. It has the card with it. Shortcuts. It's kind of damaged. It's got dirt and stuff on it. The back is perfect, but this is a quick reference card for the calculator and not the actual BASIC. The part that I really bought it for was that it was a computer, even though it counts as a calculator, unfortunately. I'll get that back in there, but so yeah, it's a nice little device. I took it around. People thought it was cool. Not as cool as they thought this one was because it's a million times smaller. It doesn't have as much power, doesn't have as much features, but it's much more smaller. This is also a pocket computer, and on the back here it says this is a handheld computer. How well can I zoom in on that? Handheld, and there's a serial number. Really, number 2309. This is only the 2309th one they made. At least that's what I'm guessing from that. Pretty cool. So until next time, this is the Retro Gaming Fox.